America has benefited greatly from some wisdom that has come down from our former leaders. Some of it simply in the form of the Constitution. Perhaps the most famous one that just came from a comment from one of the presidents was Dwight Eisenhower's "Beware the military industrial complex." And that one still just rises up to bite us just about every day. It controls much of our government and the capital city for sure. So, but another one that really has to do with the subject at hand, and that would be the farewell address from George Washington, which told us to stay away from uh, entanglements, foreign entanglements, and military alliances, especially in terms of the fact that they would remain with us for the long term. And two things I might want to paraphrase a little bit, but two things that he put a finer point on was that these alliances can tie us into a bad player for a long time, someone who is not someone with, there's a country that we should not be allied with, and we're tied in with them for the long term. The other would be, the other side of that coin would be someone that maybe we should be doing business with over the long term, that we should maintain good relationships with, but instead we have become tied into a negative alliance where there are enemies. So a bad friend, an enemy that we don't need to be an enemy with. And that's where we're at today. Of the two, Ukraine is the bad friend. And that's like a marriage to someone who's very, very unworthy of that great honor. So Ukraine is something that we're tied into for a long time in all sorts of ways, with our money, with our material, our military gear, of course, and just the whole thrust and devotion of our governmental system. So that needs to stop, and that's why we need to pull all of our material out, inventory it, claw it back, and do that sort of thing to get back to the business of national defense. Russia, Russia isn't a sweetie pie, a little puppy or something like that. There's someone that we need to watch out for, especially after we've threatened them and just been slapping them around for the last couple of years and really antagonized them as you would antagonize anybody, by threatening their very existence and threatening to bomb them and threatening to bomb their interior and that sort of thing. So we could have been on consistently friendly relations with Russia. Certainly they were in a very weak position, and if we'd have handled them more diplomatically and just more intelligently, more wisely through the last several years, we could be working with them constructively, I think, for a long time. But that's not going to happen for a long time because we've made so many mistakes. So, in terms of George Washington's brilliant advice to avoid foreign alliances and foreign entanglements, we have just butchered that piece of wisdom about as badly as we could have. So that's why we need, primarily, rather than becoming a great new friend of Russia and allying with them and being their friends every day for the next couple of weeks or months or years, we need to stop being a dear friend of Ukraine, because they are not a worthy ally, not for the short term and not for the long term.